I mentioned my future wife's name in this video, if you watch it fully. I never really believed I would talk about this out loud. You know, some things stay hidden in your heart for a long time. You feel them every day, but you keep quiet because you don't want to ruin anything. Or maybe you're scared that if you say it, it might disappear. Like a dream you don't want to wake up from. Sometimes, the fear of speaking our hearts is the hardest to overcome. We hold on to things, even though we know they belong in the world. But today's different. Today, I want to tell you something I've kept inside for a while. And maybe, just maybe, someone out there watching this video already knows who I'm talking about. She's not a celebrity. She's not someone with thousands of followers. She doesn't post much. Actually, she doesn't like being the center of attention. That's one of the things I love most about her. She has this soft way of entering a room. No noise, no drama. Just her gentle smile and those quiet eyes that make you feel calm, even when the world's a mess. It's the quiet ones who leave the loudest impact on your heart. The kind who don't need to shout to be heard. I remember the first time I noticed her. Not because of how she looked. Though yes, she's beautiful. But because she listened. Really listened. We were in a room full of people talking too loudly, trying to be funny or noticed. And she was just there, sitting slightly away from the crowd, paying attention to someone who probably wasn't used to being heard. That stuck with me. It's rare to find someone who can listen without judgment. That is what makes them unforgettable. In a world full of noise, she's the quiet peace you didn't know you were searching for. Over time, I started to notice little things about her. How she would always wait for everyone else to be served before she took a bite. How she helped others without being asked. How she would laugh at the simplest jokes. Not because they were funny, but because she didn't want anyone to feel embarrassed. It wasn't a big, flashy kind of love that came over me. It was slow, steady, and honest. I didn't even realize it was happening until one day. Love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it grows quietly, like a seed planted in the soil, waiting to bloom. And when it finally does, you realize it's been there all along, silently rooting itself into your heart. I was scrolling through my phone and saw a random photo of us standing near a coffee stall, laughing over something silly. And I just stared at that photo longer than usual. Then it hit me. That's the moment I knew. She wasn't just someone I cared about. She was the one I wanted to walk with every morning. The one I wanted to laugh with when things got hard. The one I wanted to argue with and then make peace with again, just to feel her close. Love isn't always in the grand gestures, it's found in the quiet moments that make you feel like you found home. We often don't realize when we start dreaming of a future with someone. But when that realization hits, everything feels like it's meant to be. People always say, you'll know when it's real. I used to think that was just a line. But now, I get it. It's not about flowers or surprises or huge romantic gestures. It's about who you want to tell your worst day to. It's about who makes you feel like your silence is still heard. It's about who makes you want to become a better version of yourself. Not because they asked you to, but because loving them makes you want to grow. Real love doesn't need to be dramatic. It's in the little things, the daily conversations, the quiet moments, the comfort in each other's presence. Now, maybe some of you are wondering, are you going to say her name? I will. But only if you stay with me till the end. Because this story isn't about rushing. It's about moments. About the way love builds slowly, one brick at a time. And trust me, the name I'll say at the end isn't just a name. It's a promise. Promises are made in the quietest of moments, not shouted from the rooftops. There was this one evening that changed everything for me. It wasn't a big event. No celebration. No music. No fancy lights. Just the two of us sitting on a small bench outside a quiet tea shop. The weather was kind. Not too cold. Just a light breeze passing now and then. Streetlights glowed a soft yellow. And cars passed slowly like they weren't in a rush to get anywhere. She had her hands wrapped around a warm paper cup. Her fingers, half covered by the sleeves of her sweater, were shaking just a little from the breeze. I offered her my jacket. And at first, she refused like she always did. But this time, I didn't take no. I gently placed it around her shoulders. She smiled, looked down, and softly whispered, "Thank you." We didn't talk much that night. But that silence, it was the warmest kind. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. In those moments of quiet, you realize the depth of a connection, and how much you've come to rely on the presence of that person in your life. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Not just the face I'd gotten used to seeing every day, but the person behind it. The way her eyes wandered up to the sky when she was thinking. The way she would bite the inside of her cheek when she was nervous. The way she gently touched her earring while listening, like it helped her focus better. And then, out of nowhere, she said, "Do you ever think about the future?" That question hit me like a soft punch to the chest. Because I did. I always did. But I never told her that before. I never told her that in my mind, she was already part of every plan. That when I imagined where I'd be a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, she was there. Laughing beside me. Holding my hand. Falling asleep on my shoulder. She wasn't just a part of my future, she had already become the cornerstone of it. We don't always realize when we start dreaming of a future with someone. But when that realization hits, everything feels like it's meant to be. So, I just nodded. She looked at me and asked, "And do I fit somewhere in it?" That moment slowed everything down. I didn't speak right away. I wanted to say the right thing, but not in some perfect, polished way. I just wanted it to be real. So I said, "Not somewhere. You are the center of it." And her eyes softened. Not wide with surprise. Not filled with tears. Just a quiet, peaceful glow. Like she had waited a long time to hear that. And finally, it made sense to her. Sometimes, the truth we've been hiding from ourselves is the most powerful one we can share. That was the night I knew I couldn't pretend anymore. That I couldn't keep this hidden in my chest, like it was some small crush I was too scared to admit. It was real. It was deep. And it deserved to be spoken. Shared. Shown. From that day on, I started doing little things. I began saving screenshots of our conversations. Even the random ones. I started writing notes to myself after seeing her, like her smile today could fix anything. I even told my closest friend, "She's the one, man. I just know it." But I still never told her all of it. Not yet. Because something inside me was waiting for the right moment. The one where I could say it without hesitation. Love doesn't need to be rushed. It waits for the right time to unfold. There are moments in love where words finally match the feelings we've held in silence for so long. And maybe, just maybe, this video is that moment. After that night on the bench, something inside me changed. I wasn't just thinking about the future. I was walking toward it. Step by step. And with each step, I felt her name growing heavier in my heart. In the best way possible. I started doing small things that nobody really noticed. But they meant everything to me. I began setting little reminders in my phone. Sent her flowers.